What's up everyone, welcome back to a new video on the channel, and welcome to some Forza 5, and I thought we could take a look at the other car that we've got new in this game, and it's this. Obviously it's not a brand new car that has been added into Forza, but it's a new car to this game. This is the McLaren 12C. Now this is, in my opinion, a heavily underrated car, due to the fact that this is, first of all, puts down ridiculous numbers. It's fairly old at this point, right, for the type of car that it is. And it is the car for McLaren. And why do I say that? Well, here we go. So, the car itself, first of all, came out in 2011, as you see at the top of the screen. In this game, it's rated as S1832, which is very good. If you're looking at statistics for this thing, 592 horsepower, 600 newton meters of torque, and 1,434 kilos. And if you know anything about McLaren, is those numbers are a little bit iffy due to the fact that McLarens are usually very, very, very quick and very fast. And it's the same with like Porsches and BMWs. It's just like you put their numbers up, and it's just weird because they don't really match their numbers. A lot of their performance seems to be a little bit more skewed to make it like seeming a bit faster than what they're actually like. So this is a ridiculous car. If you've ever seen any like McLarens in a drag race, always bet on McLaren because they're so fast and they work so well. Regardless, I'm not going to talk about that yet, but McLaren, like I said, wasn't really that big before this. Yes, they had the big hype and the big jump in popularity when the McLaren F1 came out, and that was cool. And then obviously when they kind of merged, when they had the little McLaren Mercedes SLR, that was kind of cool as well. But it wasn't full on McLaren, right? It wasn't everything McLaren. And it's the same with the McLaren F1. It wasn't all 100% McLaren because the engine came from BMW at the time. Whereas this is McLaren's first car, I think, that they've made, which was basically just their car, right? And this, I feel like, is the car that they put them on the map, because if you go over to McLaren, and you'll be able to see all the cars that preceded this thing. Sorry, not preceded. Is it preceded? Preceded is before, right? So whatever came after it. Look at the car selection that we have here. The McLaren P1 that came out in 2013 is an iconic car. Like they made that like crazy car, the McLaren P1. The McLaren 650S, which replaced the McLaren 12C, again, a super cool car, kept very similar shape to it, except they changed the styling a little bit, obviously the front end to match the McLaren P1 a little bit more. Then you have the 570S that they came out with. There's a few more of this of McLarens in between. It's like the 540Cs and all that sort of stuff. I don't think that's in the game. And then we have the 720S, which is still going to this day, the 600 LT as well. The McLaren Senna, the Speedtail, the GT, the 675 LT, or the 765 LT, which is out now as well, the 620R. Like, there are so many cars that came after the release of the McLaren 12C, and like I said, they are all massive cars. Like they've basically made McLaren a worthy opponent to like Lamborghini and Ferrari, right? Which is, if you think, you know, supercar status, you take of the Italians and you have Lamborghini and Ferrari, and then McLaren just wasn't really there. Well, with this car, basically got put on the map, and it's a cool car. I've always liked these. I've heard the unreliability issues with these cars, but I'm pretty sure that's very similar to a lot of other cars. Like if you take care of them and if you service them regularly and you keep up to date with what you need to do, like oil changes and all that sort of stuff, transmission changes. Or not transmission changes, transmission services. Imagine changing the transmission all the time. But no, if you service it all the time and that, I feel like these cars could last a long time. And like I said, I feel like it's the same with a lot of cars. And especially these high-powered cars, these supercars and hypercars, you just have to be even more on top of them, right? Like obviously you don't want to go, you know, do 20,000 miles on it without a service. Whereas in a regular car, it could be okay, but if you have a car like this that you keep pushing all the time, obviously not. And I do the same with my car in real life. I know it's not a supercar, but it's still a high-ish performance car, right? Like I service it every year, regardless of the amount of mileage that I've done on it, and it's perfectly fine. I don't do anywhere near the recommended mileage, or sorry, basically the recommended mileage that BMW tells me. But I go in every single year and I'll service it. It doesn't matter what the cost is. Like it's the whole point of me driving a car like that. I want to keep it for a while, regardless. Not talking about myself. McLaren 12C, it's a cool car. It's I really like these when they came out. I thought they were very beautiful. I think they looked great from the inside as well. They just made them look quite futuristic. And like I said, when people were driving these things, they were just crazy fast. Like this thing was able to keep up with Aventadors and that, and the Aventador had like an extra 100 horsepower, which was pretty mad at the time. But yeah, super cool car. I think this also has a dual clutch transmission as well, which makes changing gears very quick. The one thing about McLarens is that they don't really sound that special or that great. They don't really scream that loud. They're kind of very low rev. Well, they're not low revving, but they're low sounding like V8s, right? They feel a bit muffled. Regardless, I like the McLaren. I think we should have a go at driving this thing a little bit harder. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and build this thing up with some good tires and maybe some aero as well, just because we kind of I feel like I'm gonna need this thing. Actually, it doesn't even look that bad with this wing. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it gets rid of the original wing, and it's obviously an active aero with that wing, but I kind of like this. It looks quite good. Wait, so this, because it's an active aero wing, can I just oh, it's not adjustable. Damn it! I thought we could get less adjustability on that. What are the engine options that we have available for this thing? 6.1 liter V12, and then we have the 4 liter V12 twin turbo that we have here. What engine is this from? Surely they didn't put a Ferrari engine in this. Did they? It sounds a bit like a Ferrari V8, like one of the modern ones. I feel like we all know where that engine's from. I'm also gonna keep this thing rear-wheel drive, by the way. That's one thing I didn't say, but I don't want to change the recipe of this thing. It's already mid-engine rear-wheel drive, and it looks, or it feels fantastic. So I don't really want to change that. I mean, the stats on that are decent. Everything's over 7 already, and I haven't really done much to this car. Track width, bring that out for the front and the rear. I definitely want to change these wheels. They look a little bit outdated and a little bit old, so I think maybe some sort of center locking wheels will look good on this thing. I don't know why. I just feel like they would look really good on this car. Make it look a lot more like a race car, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I thought HREs would have some. Maybe they're not in this. What else do we have here for wheels? Rotor forms. I feel like I've seen people like slam these things as well, like just fully lower McLarens, and they look pretty ridiculous. But it's just not for me. It is just not for me. Should put some dubs on it. Yeah, HREs actually don't look that bad on this thing. They definitely make it look a lot more modern than like stuff like this. They definitely make it look a lot more modern than before. Maybe I will just put like a set of HREs on this thing. It makes it look very flashy though, if I do slap them on. Either these or these ones. I used to love these wheels, actually. Here's a little something for you. I actually did look in buying these wheels for my car in real life. Very similar wheels to these from HRE. But they're very expensive. They were like $7 grand wheels. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could justify spending $7 grand just on a set of wheels when I actually like the wheels that I have in real life. But like, you know, HRE could be kind of sick. But yeah, nah. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, these wheels, very nice. I'm definitely gonna keep those. I think I might change the color of them because they're just like really dark grey or whatever. Yeah, and race suspension. How low does it get with drift? Yeah, not that low. That's fine. Wasn't really planning on sliding this thing about anyway. I just want this thing to handle really well. Put a cage in it. When was the last time I put a cage in a car? Doesn't matter. Let's slap one in it and see. That makes that's a massive difference. That is a massive difference between. That's more like it. That is much more like it. Okay. Like that. I feel like adding more power is probably not the way to go with this car. But I can do it anyway. Alright, so with the original engine, we're making 905 horsepower and it weighs 1,208 kilos. Those are some very good numbers, by the way. we can definitely get this thing to be a lot faster as well. If I end up edge swapping it, I'm pretty sure the McLaren F1 engine, that BMW engine, is probably quite a lot better, but I don't know. Right, now for the design, let's have a quick look at some of the paints, because I remember McLaren had some really good paints. Yep, they did. Had some very, very good paints for this car. I really like it in green. Obviously the blue. I've seen a bunch of these cars back in the day when they were like newer. You don't really see a lot of these on the roads anymore. You already see the 650s and all that sort of stuff. You could get a carbon. Wait, what? Really? From factory, you could have gotten a full carbon fiber 12C. What? That is very sick. What the hell? I didn't know that. And the chrome? Wait, what is going on here? These are all manufacturer colors. What? Surely not. Surely not. This is a very cool color. I really like this. I feel like it just hides a lot of detail when it's in the game, but it's a very, very beautiful color. I think I might go with this, to be honest with you. I really like this, like, really dark red. But this is really, really nice. I love this. That's very, very cool. Right, I want this dark red. Also for the wheels, like I said, I don't really like. Should I just put the manufacturer colors on? No, but for the wheels, I don't really like them in like that weird, like dark grayish color. Not on this car. And then this car, they need to like pop out a little bit more. So maybe something like aluminium polished or steel polished. I think steel polished is a little dark. I think chrome, I think, is just gonna look way too dark. So yeah, I think aluminium polished for the wheels, and then we'll keep the brakes red due to the fact that it'll contrast nicely with the wheels and it'll match the paint. Yeah, I like this thing the way it is. I'm not even gonna tint the windows or anything like that. All right, let's just go and drive it. Let's just go and drive this thing. It definitely was to spin those rear wheels. It's quick. Whoa, okay. It's gonna take corners. I think I've made it understeer a little bit too much, or maybe I'm just going a bit too fast in some of these corners. Wait, this is this is grippy. Oh my god, the brakes are so good. I wanted to brake as late as possible, and then I started braking and turning at the same time like a moron, but that was my fault. Let's bring it on a track, like on an actual track. I don't really care about doing anything. Where is it? Pinewood Hills. Gotta love the Pinewood Hills Raceway. Really, really fun track. There's another one as well. It's like Emerald something that someone made, and that's also a really, really fun track. I mean, I think it was one of the featured tracks as well at some point, and that's how I found out about it. But I really like this track. I think this track, if this guy, I don't know if he still plays this game, but if this guy modernized this track a little bit more, if he used Event Lab 2.0 or 3.0, whatever it is, the one that's in the sky, and there's so many different, I think, things that he could possibly use. Oh my god, there's so many like resources now, I think, that they can use, and they can make some ridiculous things. I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen like someone made like a whole ass city out of it. The gear changes are instant. The gear changes are straight up just instant. It sounds so funny. Listen to it. I'm still testing the limits with this car. So I'm just kind of like hammered it into corners as fast as I possibly can. Boy. Okay, chill, car. Relax. It just wants to keep accelerating. You can feel it like skipping along. It's a quick car. Yeah, the brakes are very good. Brakes and the gear changes are like mad. It changes gears so fast. Whoa. Relax. Okay, that's my fault. That was straight up my fault. Listen, people watching the video. I'm trying to put 900 horsepower down, by the way, on a car that weighs 1,200 kilos. And I'm trying to do it all on the rear wheels. Keep that in mind, right? Before you start judging how this car's grip is like. It's actually very good. Really good, if you think about it. All 900 horsepower, all going to the rear wheels, and I'm flooring it out of corners. I feel like I've done an alright job at keeping this power in check and actually making it usable so it actually reaches the road instead of me just sliding around everywhere. I do still get, like, obviously, a few instances where I am actually sliding. Like, my wheels are just skipping across. And you can see little black lines all over the place. But overall, I feel like I've done an alright job. Diff-wise and suspension-wise, to keep this thing very much in check when accelerating. I think it's a good car. It's not like anything to rave about. It's not gonna be like OP or anything like that. It could be, maybe, if I engine swap it and you have it just as like a power build or something like that, right? If you engine swap it and then you give it a silly amount of horsepower with the McLaren F1 engine, that would be kind of fun. If this was somehow an unbelievably good car. I don't know if you can actually even do engine swaps with the other McLarens, where you could put the F1 engine in. Probably can, right? I'd say that you can. I don't think there's anything that crazy or special about the way this is versus the other McLarens, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, I just wanted to make a video on this car due to the fact that, in my opinion, this is the most underrated McLaren, and it's actually one of the cars that is incredibly important for McLaren's history now at this point, because it's done so much for them. It's made them a heavily profitable business, whereas McLaren back in 2011, it just wasn't. They weren't really doing much. They were just, I'm pretty sure they were just part of the race team in F1, and that was pretty much it, right? I don't think they were doing anything else. They weren't very popular back then, but like I said, now look at them. Like you'll see them at car shows. You'll see them release a ridiculous car every now and then. It's a good and profitable business, and I'm pretty sure it's this car that they have to really thank. And that's kind of why I wanted to make a video on this car. It wasn't that it was a new car to the game, but I just wanted to basically talk a little bit about it and just enjoy driving it, to be honest, because it is still a very good car. That was very close to it. It's still a very, very good car, regardless of it being a little outdated and all that, but still seems to put up a really good fight and just hammer it along on this track. Even with my sketchy tune on it, which I somehow managed to keep that grip in check. Alright everyone, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, as usual, don't forget to subscribe, because it helps a lot. Plus, you get to know whenever I upload a brand new video on the channel. And That's also good news for you. But this video is now finito. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, with another video. Goodbye, everyone. Peace out.